Hello, once again. Welcome to the Real Estate Titans podcast. I'm your host, Frank Ray. Of course, I'm here with my cohort, Katie Lewis. Got a really good friend and special guest on the podcast today, Jess Mraz.
Hello.
That's right, Jessica Mraz, who I have known for, God, I don't know how long.
It's
Probably 20 years, right? Probably about 20 years, something like that.
20 pluser, I think, yeah.
I remember when you got into the real estate biz, and it was so interesting to see you transition in. But the thing that was the most remarkable about it to me was like, oh, she's a realtor. Oh, she's instantly successful. That's weird. But we'll get into that. Okay. Let's just get to some numbers right now. You're with the Wolf and Associates team. You guys are part of the EXP Realty up in the Sacramento area. And you personally are a fabulous producer. The team does, upwards of 80 plus deals a year. But you're pulling a lot of weight with the team. You're like a 60 unit a year real estate agent, which is, talk about a titan, Katie.
Yeah,
60.
A round of applause for that.
There's a 6 in the front of that number. That's pretty good. So yeah, awesome stuff. And yeah, that round of applause was for you. And just congratulations to all your success. And I just got to tell you before we dive into all the questions, Jess, it's so good to see you. It's been a long time. You look absolutely fabulous as always, and I'm really looking forward to just hearing what you got to say. Because
well, thank you for asking me to be on your show. I love it. It's like the good old days.
You bet, like the good old days. That's right. So, well, let's just go ahead and dive in and see what in the heck what the secret sauce is that you've got floating around in you here, because 60 transactions is no small feat. And we got a few questions just to run past you, and hopefully we can dig some of this info out. So, Katie, what's the first question?
All right, I'm ready. Let's get started. What strategies have been most effective for you in generating leads and closing deals?
All right. So first I want to say, when someone mentions that I'm in the Sacramento area, I like to kind of clarify what that means.
Do it.
So yes, definitely Sacramento. If you aren't selling in Sacramento in this region, then you probably aren't selling enough. So with that said, we're Sac, Placer, El Dorado, and Solano County. I have an agent full-time down in Solano County. I'm originally from Vacaville, lived 17 years in El Dorado Hills, and now I'm on what we call the 80 side. So we have like a 50 and 80 sort of like
here
for the freeway. So I was 50 side El Dorado Hills. Now I live in Loomis, moved to Granite Bay first. So now I'm on the 80 side.
Okay.
So
that's clear.
El Dorado and Solano. That's what I cover.
Now, see, we actually asked that specific question at the very end, but we covered it up front, which is fine. We'll revisit it when we get there. But getting back to strategies, you got a favorite strategy that you use to find your business? What is it?
Database is definitely number one. I know there's a lot of whiz-bang stuff out there that there's leads you can buy and all this other stuff. That's not our team. So I am strictly 100% database. Now, How do you get a database?
Yes.
It's not that easy, right? I mean, when I have agents that want to come work for us, I say you really can't do this unless you've got at least X amount of people in your database.
Okay.
And how do you get it? So I use a scenario with them. Like, imagine if you were to have a wedding or a massive party with absolutely zero budget. Who would you invite? Put all those people in your database, and then envision yourself with all of those people's friends and family that you know, and put those people in your database.
Got it.
And really, that's where you start. And then, of course, we have past clients, because I've been doing this for so long. And then with my database, I had real estate agents. For 15, 17 years, I worked in the home warranty industry. So I had thousands, I think 5,000 real estate agents in my database.
Yeah.
So a lot of my business comes from other real estate agents.
We've heard that a lot on the podcast. We've heard that a lot from other Titan agents, that they actually. Sorry, Katie. What?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that a lot of agents actually they have a database of agents that they actually call on, work just as if it was any other database to get the referral business going back and forth between each other.
Yeah, and the referral part of it is, some people aren't real happy about it. You have to give a 25% referral to whoever's giving you the business, but
I wouldn't mind.
I mean, you wouldn't have had it in the first place.
Yeah, what are you
right?
talking about? Give
Yeah,
me a
I
break.
mean,
25.
Frank, your mom, Katie, your grandmother. I am literally in contract right now from something that Annie Vogelpool gave me.
You're welcome, by the way.
You didn't even know I was going to say that.
I told her to give it to you, so just saying.
Anyway, so yeah, that is just it's another strategy, and I would say our probably biggest bang for our buck is events. So we have at least 4 a year, and I can get into what those are, but that keeps us involved with our clients. We do like adult and we do kids. Sometimes we also do like business strategies, and we invite our lenders and different people in the community that we do business with. But, I mean, my hairdresser gives me business. My esthetician gives me business. I'm selling my doctor's house right now. Like, I do business with people who do business with me. And
Nice.
if you don't do business with me, then I'm probably going to find somebody else unless you're super good at what you do and I can't find someone else.
That is so funny. So
I would say that's our strategy.
Yeah, I like it. So you're very focused on, the very personal, I know you, you know me strategy, your past clients, family, friends, that kind of thing, people you do business with, which is brilliant as well.
Yeah,
And
our
you did-
lenders are very helpful. We definitely are strategic in utilizing lenders that are locals, that know a lot of people, that have listings to pass out, buyers to give. I know that sounds cliche, and it's tough when we have a really good lender and we still keep them on the list, but then we have this other lender that's like, hey, I've got 2 listings over here, blah blah. So we definitely push our vendors to continue to give us business as well. And then we have the builder side of it, if you want me to get into that.
Oh, okay. So let me think about where we could tie the builder side into this. That'll be on the next question.
Okay.
The next question would be good to wrap that in.
Okay.
But I want to go back to staying on this first question is you said you do events, and this is another, Katie, right? Another common theme.
Very, very common.
Yeah, amongst the Titans. Yeah. And so how many events do you do a year?
No less than 4 a year, which made it super challenging in COVID. So
Yes.
We'll just skip over that. But generally speaking, we do portraits in the park, which means we're going to have your pictures taken by a professional photographer. We've done it on our property, and we've done it in various really pretty settings around the fall, so they can use the picture for their Christmas card. That
Okay.
brings all the kids in. Lots of cocktail parties and all the swanky little places. I mean, we have such fabulous restaurants in Placer County. El Dorado's stunning. Hawks in Granite Bay. I mean, just beautiful places. Mom and dad night out, leave the kids at home. Those ones are never a fail. My
imagine.
favorite one, never. I mean, beverages, everyone loves them. You just get loosened up. And when we have them in good venues, the more people come. So the biggest and my most favorite event we do is called Bubbles, Blowouts, and Botox. So we have one of those blowout bars. We rent the whole thing out, or one of our favorite salons.
Yeah.
And we have all the girls there blowing out. We do Mother's Day pretty
A
much.
blowout is getting your hair blow dried.
They wash it and they blow
I
it
didn't
out.
know what you were talking
I
about.
know.
Like,
I
sure,
can
the
see
blowouts.
them going,
Yeah,
a
do them all the time.
blowout.
Oh, that's a good one.
What are you guys talking about over there in Lewis? I'm like, what? So a blowout is when you go into a salon and you have your hair washed and you have it styled. It's kind of almost like when little old ladies go and have their hair set, but it's modern day.
Right.
Mhm.
So we pay for all of that. We have champagne, we have charcuterie, we have fancy stuff. And we bring in our injectors, which is Botox, who of course we sell
Are you
their
serious right now?
They pay for their Botox, we pay for the champagne and the food and the blowouts. It's packed. Like RSVP is done in 48 hours. I mean, I could probably do 3 of those a year.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
want
a
that
very
one.
fun event. I'll invite you next time.
Yeah,
Amazing.
That's like fun.
Amazing.
You
Well,
just have to get creative.
Good idea. That's very creative. I haven't heard of that one.
no,
We've heard of a lot of clients doing different events, but the bubbles and Botox one, that's
no, never heard of that one.
Frank's wife, Annie, and Katie, you guys are all invited to the next one.
Fine.
Fine.
Whatever.
So
Good.
we do some boring ones too, like Easter. Like that one isn't always my favorite. It's like there's tons of kids, tons of people. but we just closed an escrow on the one we did for.
Hey man, it does the job, right? It does the job. You get everybody in there, they see you, they're reminded of you, they like you for it. They already like you anyway. You get back together and you do pick up business from it. And because anyone we've talked to that says they do the events, they always say, absolutely. You start talking to somebody, go, I was thinking about buying an investment, or we were thinking on moving here, and then the next thing you know, you're picking up a deal. But so on the strategy side, for you, it's interesting because, where you might think an agent might say, I do Facebook ads and I do Google ads. No, you are very much so. I talk to people. I hang out with people. I get people together.
Listen, I'm not going to downplay social media. I mean, big part of our business too.
Yeah.
But I don't do all of that marketing.
Right.
It's all about the touch. It's about the invite to the event. Right? I mean, we can invite 500 people and 30 show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the butt. And it's like, I feel like an event coordinator and I'm trying to get listings and show properties, and it's not anything that I'm loving, but it's about the invite. 500 people I invited to something just because, half of that or 30 or less show up, whatever the event is. I still had a conversation with that person. They may not have came to my event, but I went to coffee with them. Maybe they're the hiking girl that I have fun with doing that. Maybe she's the, Linda Alonzo who gives us tons of referrals, and we're at the, bar with her. I mean, it's just about connecting with somebody, whether it's a text or a call or an event.
Love it. Let's get to the next question, because I already know where this is going to go, and it's going to be super interesting.
Do you have a niche that you use in your marketing?
Yeah, so I'm going to look at my notes here. One of the things I'm going to say that makes us pretty different, you guys, is that we operate like a doctor's office, if you will. We really run our business like a business. So when you ask if we have a niche, if you put me up against another real estate agent for a listing, I'm going to have a lot of upfront work done, and it may not have been by me. I mean, I oversee everything. I'm looking at the comps. We're touching you before I end up at the listing. And by the time we get to the listing, we've already created a relationship, and you're giving me the keys and signing the listing document. So my niche, I would definitely say, is that when you walk into our office, if you will, or our company, there's a receptionist, like you would go to the doctor's office, you're checked in, you're getting all your paperwork done, and then you're going to see the nurse, and then you're going to see the doctor. So, we have a team, and we have buyer's agents that, are sourcing properties, that are holding your houses open, that are successful. There's a whole machine going into calling around the neighborhood, not just sending out mail outs. We have drop-in voicemails, inviting people. We have databases of all the price points of past buyers that haven't gotten a house that we're sending your listing to before you're even on the market. We have a coming soon campaign that I don't think very many people do, that I could say is a niche. Check the price point. The seller wants $750. It's comping for $700. Okay, we'll put it out on the market for $750 to all of our database, our 5,000 real estate agents, and all of our people that have that approval with all of our lenders. If we don't get any bites on it before we go on the MLS, your price too high. If we get 15 or 20 of them, we can go higher.
Interesting. I think and that is awesome. It's a fantastic answer. Another way to look at the niche question is, like some agents are like, well, we do horse properties, or we do lady says, we're the lot people. But you brought up, and this is where I really want to explore the new construction angle that you guys have going, because I think this fits into that niche category.
I'm looking at my notes on that. I did put builders on it.
Yeah, can you talk about that? What is that?
Yeah, so two things on the niche. I'll do builder second. We live and work and have tons of kids here. In Solano County is our agent down there. Up here, Rob has 2 kids. I have 4, a grandbaby. So, we know what's going on in our marketplace. We have an incredible relationship with other top producers, so we know what's coming on the market. I was able to convert a buyer that was moving from San Diego that just couldn't find anything, and we brought him a half a dozen off-market properties, because we just knew what was coming. The inventory is always so challenging, and if you've got, buyers that aren't finding something, then that's when we really start leaning into our builders.
Mm.
So when you go to homesource.com, you can find out what's going on out there in the builders, and we will plug in their price points and to this various cities and zip codes that they want to live, and we'll go to the builders ourselves and we will say, okay, what do you have that's standing inventory, or what do you have that's going to be built, within that buyer's time frame, whether it's 30 days, 90 days, whatever. And we work with the builders. I mean, they're incredible. It's a whole nother MLS. And
what's the site again? Say the website again. I don't know.
Homesource.com.
Homesource.com. And this is kind of like a builder MLS, you said?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So not something that we liked to do during COVID, because remember, they weren't paying real estate agents.
Yeah, they were all like, I don't need you.
Yeah. But you know
that's
what?
Changed.
I stayed on my circuit. I stayed on my route. My home warranty route is now my builder route.
Yeah.
And I still have relationships with them regardless. Obviously we weren't bringing buyers in there, but we knew it would come back. So let's say we can't find something for a buyer in Granite Bay or El Dorado Hills or Sacramento. We'll go to see our various builders. We'll find out what they have standing inventory, and we'll find out what they have coming available in lots. And if they're open to new construction, we can keep them in their price point. They have a brand new home. We hand the buyer over to the sales rep at KHOV or KB or Toll Brothers or wherever. And we literally we're way less involved. We're not driving them around, but we're negotiating for them, and we're holding their hand and helping them through it, but it's half the work. And it's still 2.5%, 3% sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if we sell the standing inventory, there's a bonus. So, it's a huge tool for helping get buyers. And then of course we get relationships from these sales reps, and if there's like a contingency.
Well, they got to sell a house or something like that. It's like, oh, you should talk to Jess. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, I got to tell you, that alone is probably worth the price of admission to this podcast right now.
Well, if you create a relationship with those sales reps and somebody comes in that has a house to sell and they don't accept contingencies and they don't have a real estate agent, my phone rings.
Yeah.
And I get a
Fantastic. I love it. What a great niche that is. And thanks for being so kind as to share that information. I mean, that's going to help a lot of people. And I just found it really, really cool. Really.
It's a long play.
Yeah, it's a long play. And this whole business is a long play if you're going to get it right.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't think you're going to get in here and get your license and, make
clean up. Don't think you're going to be another Jess Mraz. Yeah. There's only one Jess Mraz.
Get in line.
Yeah.
Hey, right. I put 15 years into being an affiliate. So that's a long play.
That's true. You built up a quite a database of people, et cetera, before you got your license and plugged in. So what's the next question, Katie?
What's your favorite marketing method or platform?
Okay, let's see. I put for this one a couple things. So I'm probably not the best person to be interviewing for whiz-bang technology.
Sure.
But I will tell you that as a listing agent, we sometimes have to scratch our head and get real creative, because there's a listing that needs to be creative, right? So throwing it on the MLS a lot of times works. Thank God for these third parties that are, going all over the place, and they're catching them on I don't want to name them because they do irritate me, but they do help us. So with that said, our website, we've beefed up incredibly well to be able to say something like coming soon, and then we put the neighborhood in there. So when someone searches, homes for sale in Shelbourne or Whitney Oaks or Promontory or Serrano, then you'll see what's going on there on our website, and then it catches those leads. When we have a home that we need to give it some paid advertising, we use HomeSmart. Is it HomeSmart or HomeSnap? HomeSnap, sorry, my bad. HomeSnap.
Okay.
And it's an extra added fee, whatever, cost of doing business. But you can pick where you want these listings to go to. You can do anything from Instagram to Waze to Google, and you can connect it to your Google business page.
That's HomeSnap? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that's what they did.
It's quite inexpensive. It can get expensive if you keep going, but you can advertise new listing, open house, price drop, all the things, and then you get to kind of categorize who you're shooting it out to in your different algorithms. I don't love all that stuff, but I feel like we have to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I mean, you can't just rely on the MLS. So, you know, we have various ways of pinpointing also through some of our lenders' products, again, social media, like those particular buyers. So when we have a buyer, or excuse me, when we have a listing coming, this isn't an actual piece of technology, it's a strategy. We send it to all of our lenders. I'm not trying to double end a deal. I'm not. It's a pain in the butt. It's a ton of risk. It's not my favorite thing to do. So when I call other lenders and say I have a listing coming and here's the price point, here's the marketing and pictures and whatnot, I know they have a real estate agent. So we can bring those people in to see the property before it hits the market, or at least have a really successful.
Well, it's a really smart thing to do. I mean, even us, right? We've got we got quite the handful of pre-approved and lookings, right?
Yeah.
Quite the handful. You know, and a lot of them are looking, like you said, very specific price range, maybe a specific city and whatever the case may be. So by you hitting up your lender partners, like I tell you what, if you've got a little place in Winters right now, Jess, that's going
everyone loves
for about $520. You better get that over to me right now, because I got some kids that are like ready to go.
Isn't that place darling? Well,
that's wonderful.
That price point, Frank, is really where we're headed in all of our marketing right now. It's not what we normally are at. Like anywhere from 400 to 600 right now. If you have a listing, it's going to sell multiple offers over us.
Oh yeah, instantaneously. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, I had one coming in Orangevale, send it out to my lenders, 11 buyers before the photos were even taken.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts out there. So, but all right, well that's pretty cool. So the home snap thing is kind of nice and but
website, home snap, and coming soon campaigns. I would say those are my favorite marketing platforms.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff. Great answer. What's next?
Great answer. Okay, can you share a specific example of a challenging transaction you navigated successfully and what you learned from that experience?
Yeah.
I have a lot of these, but I'm going to give you the most recent one.
Okay.
3 days before the close of escrow, New Year's Day, all the storms, remember?
Yeah.
Tree falls in the roof and completely demolishes the second story and the decks of a house in Old Roseville, which is like the darlingest place. And
home warranty ain't covering that.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
No seller's coverage on that. So the poor little sellers of, you know what, ironically, this is the buyers your mother gave me. How funny is that? This is weird. This is the
funny now, probably not at the moment, but yeah.
So your mother gave me these buyers.
Yes.
And they're selling their house. Tree falls in it. Okay, this is 2.5 years later. The sellers are driving to Montana. They are moving out of state. They're one of the big get out of California flee it place, moving to Montana. They're literally they're in escrow to purchase another house.
Of course.
This tree falls in. So it was, the buyers wanted to stay in, but it just became so convoluted and so complicated. And they're saying things like, well, can we get a different paint color? And I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
now that we have to rebuild the house, I mean.
Yeah. So
can we add on a bedroom?
Yeah. I mean, they were talking to the city planners and it just got really convoluted.
Yeah.
Well, and then as the market started to shift, we realized we were probably going to get way more for this house than what we're in contract for. So we became the project managers on this, which I'm sure my broker would hate to hear this, but they were out of state, the sellers. So I pulled in Rob. He managed all of the contractors. And we worked out some financial compensation for that with the sellers and the insurance company. But it really, I don't think would have ever come to fruition if we didn't keep our emotion hat on. It was crazy. It was crazy. And the 3 days before the close of escrow, that happening, we just pulled all the vendors, all the stops, all our favors, everyone we know at the city, and just help these kids get this tree out and fixed. And I mean, it was the biggest learning experience.
And it went through.
At top of mind. We're in escrow.
Did it close?
Again. They're netting almost $37,000 more than the escrow they were in before.
Wow. So I guess lesson learned is try to close 3 days early if you can.
Yeah, I mean, well, cut your trees down. Everybody cut your trees down.
Yeah.
Cut your dang trees.
Call the PG&E, call your arborist, get your neighbors, cut your trees down.
And try to close 3 days early if at all possible.
You know what? That's actually true.
Yeah.
If you're ready to close, why are you waiting?
Why wait? Just
Why?
close.
Somebody's
Yeah,
going to lose
trees
a
be
job.
falling, people, let's go.
I mean,
Let's go.
if we have, all the calendars, if you guys could see, if we have a loan that we've gotten the email that says you're approved and we have everything
Yeah.
done on our
Clear to
end,
close. Let's go.
clear to close, and I've
Go.
got all my contingencies removed, I'm banging everybody.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get her
I'll
done.
give you 2 days rent back. I don't care. What do we need? Let's do it.
Right. Because an airplane could possibly lose a wheel and it's going to land on your house if we don't get it done.
The tree
So-
fell in the house.
Anyway, that's a good one. Great
That's
story.
great.
That was
Awesome.
a good one.
Yeah, what else you got, Katie? That was a good one.
That was good.
That's the craziest one we've heard out of
Oh, is it? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
oh yeah, most of them have been, nothing like a tree falling and crushing the house. We've never had
Nothing
that.
like natural disasters. Like,
Yeah.
how can you
I've never
really
had it
prepare for that? You know, how can you prepare
Yeah.
yourself?
So
If
if you're
Careful, it's really wet outside, so we could
Well,
have
and the
a
roof
fall.
was open. You know, the roofers, they don't put roofs on when it's raining.
right,
We had
Yeah.
to have, I mean, like 5 times the guys went out there to more sheetrock, more tarps. Yeah, I mean,
because the rain, it's just
yeah.
wow. Anyway,
Yeah,
great
that's-
story, good one, very interesting. You never know what's going to happen in this game. You just never know. Get ready, all you new kids.
Yeah, and
That's coming your way.
Watch the Weather Channel.
Yeah,
and keeping your emotions in check. Like there's,
yeah.
you know, you've just got to remember it's business.
It's business, man. You got to get it done. Cool. What's next, Katie?
All right. Let's see. How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively?
Yeah, I miss 60 units a year.
Yeah, so not easy to do. I'm not going to lie. Real estate's really intrusive, and anybody who says, "Oh, I don't answer the phone past 6 and I don't work on weekends," okay, they probably have systems in place for that. I'm not really sure how that's completely successful, but for my answer, I really, truly, and honestly have good people that I pay, and we have truly staff, and we have agents that help.
Yeah.
So none of that is for free. It is a high price. However, I can take trips here, there. Like, again, Linda Alonso called me and asked me to go to Jeannie Burke's with her on Friday night. Well, Jeannie Burke is in Santa Barbara, and we left the next morning. I would have never been able to do that if I didn't have a beefed up transaction coordinator, a operations manager, and an agent to be able to show properties or do the open houses and all the things. So truly, time management is a really good help. You've got, in fact, if you're trying to take your real estate your real estate business to another level, I wouldn't even bother with getting a buyer's agent. I would just get nothing.
Get a what? Just get a what?
Administration.
Mm.
Yeah, or pay your transaction coordinator more to do more. Start
do
with
more.
that,
Yeah.
and then get yourself.
Let that free up your time so you can do more. Yeah.
I mean, the paperwork going back and forth is when I'm driving and I'm, kids and things and I'm showing property and there's papers flying all over, whatever. It's crazy.
Mm.
But I need to get the offer in, or I need to get my contingency removed, or I need
Right.
to get the seller multiple counter offer out before I get, all the things. So to have somebody sitting right here at this desk, a good solid, 8 to 3, 9 to 5, whatever you can afford, adjust
Yeah.
it to what you can.
Yeah.
Have them work from home a couple hours if you don't have the office or whatever. That makes the difference.
That's good one. Great
So
great
it's not
advice.
easy. It's expensive, but if you're going to sell real estate for real, then you got to have staff.
And there's the key phrase. If you're going to do it for real, you got to get for real, right?
Get for
You
real.
need help, man. You really do need help.
Get for real. Leverage. Keller Williams always says that. Leverage, leverage, leverage.
Leverage. All right. Good stuff. Great answer. What
Love
else,
it.
Katie? What do you got?
Love it. All right. Let's see. What's your favorite technology gadget?
Yeah, do you got it? Well, you're not much of a tech girl, huh?
Probably your
Yeah.
Or do you got something you really love? Are you a Facebooker? You a Instagrammer? All right.
So, okay. Social media. I'm
TikTok.
I don't TikTok. In fact, I made my kids take it off their phones because so much inappropriate nonsense. But I'm not saying it doesn't
So
work.
true.
Social media, I gotta say, as tough as it is to swallow, as far as time wasting, blah blah blah. All those people I talked about that I have at the events in my database. Do you know how many of them are on my social media pages? I mean, you guys, it is so valuable if you use it right. You don't need to pay for the ads if you don't want to, and you don't need to have somebody doing it for you if you don't want to. And sometimes when you do pay for those people to do the social media campaigns, it shows that it's not you. You got to get in there and send pictures of your kids. And
I was going to say, what do you mean if you do it right? What's do it right to you?
Yeah. So if you go on my Instagram or Facebook, those are the two I use. I can't quite grasp much more.
Right.
You're going to see the tree in 82 Bernice and all the stories. You're going to see my daughter riding her horse. You're going to see a picture of our team. You're going to see a challenge and education in the market. You're going to see my son playing basketball. And you're going to see I have a lot of interaction with people. Those are all the real estate agents that I get leads from and referrals, and they're my past clients and, all the things. So, as much as we don't.
So basically, you're socializing on social media is what you're saying.
I am strategic in social media without being impersonal and without really hating it. Because you want, whatever you do, you want it to be worth it, right? And social media is time. It's not money, but time is money. So you can spend a lot of time on social media. Make it worth it. Get your clients that you want to be, or your prospects that you want to be clients on social media. And then, don't post a bunch of pictures of you acting crazy. Post a lot of information that's valuable, that is helpful, that people want to know. Don't get political, So I would say that, what else did I put on there? Oh, I said home snap too. Portals. Do you guys know what portals are? When you set up a portal for a buyer or seller, so it's in the MLS, or you can use it in any one of your CRMs. So whenever a buyer wants to purchase a house, you put all of the criteria in that they want. Whenever a seller wants to sell a house but they're not ready to sign a listing agreement, you put everything in their neighborhood that's selling in a portal. So when you're out running around and you're out doing all of the things that you need to do to gain business, that machine is running for you. Anytime somebody comes to me and says, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house, even if they're not qualified, even if I haven't had a good solid buyer's consult, I'll call my assistant and say, they think they want to buy at 750, 350, whatever, plug them in, here's their email. And that portal, that machine is running when I don't even.
Yeah, you're calling it a portal, but it's a drip system. It's a follow up, type. Yeah.
Yeah, you can send it from MLS direct. You can send
MLS.
it your third party, your CRM.
So you're very good at putting people in right away, just like this person, this person, this person, this person. And have you seen that? Obviously, you do it because for a reason. So you've gotten business from doing that then.
You know why I'm still in my gym clothes and my hair is up for this podcast is because one of those portals that I set up, Frank, from the kit I bought, my Mercedes. When you buy a car nowadays, have you done that lately? You have to have like a whole lesson to figure out how to make the thing do what it does.
Right.
So there's a kid at Mercedes that you sit with, you make an appointment, and he literally teaches you how to use the car.
Yeah.
Well, that was me. He said he wanted to buy a house. He said that this 20-nothing-year-old is an ungodly amount of money.
20-nothing-year-old.
I mean, he's got thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm like, you need to buy a house. And he goes, I was thinking about it. I plugged him into the portal. That's who I should have covered to before. That's why I'm not dressed. It's because that portal.
Fantastic.
I never even talked to him. I set him in the portal, other than my appointment to figure out how my car works. Put him in the portal. He called me this morning, met with the lender, filled it out, found out all of the money he has, all the money he's qualified for. I sent him, we went up and I showed him a property earlier today, and I'm showing him another one at 6 o'clock.
Fantastic.
From a portal.
Portals. I don't think that's the right name for what you're saying, but we understand it.
So in MLS, I guess they're called portals, but you're right, it's a drip system.
Yeah. But
it's a follow-up.
Campaign or something, yeah.
I love it. It's good stuff.
Okay.
What else? What else we got, Katie?
All right. How do you stay top of mind with your database?
Okay, so the classic 33 touch, right? We have
that's a KW thing, right? Isn't that a Gary Keller thing?
Is it?
Yeah.
I think really now though.
Millionaire real estate agent.
Yes, that's it. I think I'm actually showing my age though, because 33 is not enough anymore. I think it's up to like 47, 52.
Think
it's
so?
More. It's more. So I forgot. I have another really good marketing tool. So
Okay.
to keep in your question, have you guys heard of Happy Grasshopper?
Isn't that some sort of a tequila drink?
Well, today maybe we should drink that because it's Cinco de Mayo. So
No, what's Happy Grasshopper?
Love your ideas, Jess.
Yeah, Happy Grasshopper is a email marketing platform, and they go through a really extensive interview process before they make a campaign for you. So, they ask you all about your team, your business, who you are, what's your area, all this. It's very intense. And then you pay them a X amount of dollars, whatever it is, depending on what program you want. And they send emails out to your database that's literally in the headline says something like, hey, did you see the new coffee shop? You want to meet me there? And people are like, what? It catches. It's catchy. And they give pertinent information. They are very, very good in their content. And we have the most highest open rate of that particular program out of all of our marketing happeners.
Make note of that one, Katie.
Happy Grasshopper.
Happy Grasshopper. Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they have like assistants and you can make appointments with, and they'll help you upload all of your database. You can shoot them some flyer you want sent out.
Really?
It's like an assistant. Yeah.
Fascinating. Never heard of it. It's cool.
Yeah.
It means something else in Tijuana, but up here, it's a really cool marketing system.
I'm sure it does, Frank.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I don't like their name, but their product works.
It's good stuff.
All right.
Did that answer that question?
It does.
Yeah, that was a
It was a
great
good
answer.
one. I loved it. Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't heard that one either. You're bringing all kinds of new stuff to the table for us.
Some firsts, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So what's next, Katie? What
All right.
we ditched an answer to come. Yeah, what are we at? Oh,
I think
staying in touch with the database. No, wait, I'm confused. You talk. I'll shut up.
Okay, ready for the next question?
Yes.
What advice would you give to a new or average producing agent looking to increase their success in the industry?
Okay. Jokingly, when somebody tells me that they want to get into real estate, my answer is don't. But for the purpose of your podcast,
Yes, Jess. Someone who really does want to get in.
Yes.
Give them an answer.
yes, this gig is really hard work. Yes, it's fun. Yes, we get to be around fabulous people and go fabulous places, and our fancy cars make it look like we make a bunch of money. Really good real estate agents make it look really easy, but really, you guys, we just happen to sell homes. To get the business is the hardest part. I mean, if you don't have a database to go to, or you're not willing to spend thousands of dollars on buying leads, and you've got to get out there and network. When you punch in your hourly wage for wherever you're working, from Google to Starbucks, you got to remember that that's what you do when you are networking. Like, you're working, you're feeding your family. Don't be a secret agent and not tell people what you're doing. Don't do business with people that don't give you business. If you really want to do this, you've got to remember your job is to get out there and be a resource to the public so that they know that you're the real deal and you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the marketplace. What are the stats? What's the inventory? What do I need to know that's coming to town? What are the builders doing? What are the businesses doing? What's my zip code doing? What's our average price point? And you got to network. You have to go out there and bring those people in, and then you got to put them in a computer, and you got to put them in a program, and you got to follow up with them. And you got to ask them until you tell me that you do not want me to call you anymore to sell your house, I'm going to keep calling you. And not a lot of people are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And until you get to the place where you walk into a room and they're like, oh, that's the real estate agent in Placer County, or oh, she sells a lot in Granite Bay or El Dorado Hills. Until you get there, you've got to get there. And it's hard. It's not easy.
It's a good answer, and I don't think anyone's really said it that way either, but I really appreciate it. This is not for the weak of heart. This industry, it's not. This is an industry
Yeah.
you got it where you got to work harder than you've ever worked on your job, more than
Yeah.
likely. More than I would say it. Of course, there's some jobs that work a lot harder than us, right? But
Yeah.
for the most part, this is going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life.
I think it's because I come from a place of really, this is a business. It's not a hobby. And then there's a lot of real estate agents out there that are okay with selling a couple houses a year so that they can go on vacation and do the extra things. And that's okay. But for me, when you ask me the question, I'm in it to win it, and I'm passing on a legacy, and I'm paying for college and down payments for my kids' houses and businesses that they want to start. And, you know, my daughter's an equestrian rider. That's not cheap. But guess what? My daughter's equestrian riding barn gives me business. Or my horse isn't boarding there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What's next, Katie? Is there anything else?
Yes. Let's see. What areas are you currently serving?
See, you answered that up front, but go say it again. Where do you service? And then the other question is, how do they get a hold of you? What's your phone number? So
okay, so Placer County, Sacramento County, El Dorado County, and Solano County.
Okay.
I don't want to put myself in a box there because of the great wide world of networking. If you want to move anywhere in the world, I have a referral, and I've got thousands of agents, and tons of them I've worked with over and over. Texas, Idaho, oh my gosh, Montana. Like, we've got numerous agents that we've worked with over and over in those states everyone's fleeing to. So basically, we're heavy Placer County, Sacramento, El Dorado, and Solano.
Got it.
And my phone number?
Yes.
916-792-2574. And I promise I will answer my phone. If not, I'll text you.
Great.
Love it.
Great stuff. Jess, I got to tell you, man, thanks so much. You are truly a Titan. So good to talk to you again. So good to see you. We want to come up and have lunch with you, by the way.
Do you? I want to come too.
100%.
I can come down there and we can get Joanna. Oh, I guess we don't do Joanna anymore. Are we still?
Not with this. Yeah. But no, we'd like to come up and visit with you either way. But, maybe we
I'll
meet
grab
halfway.
Linda
Whatever.
too. Linda's so fun. Linda's a notary now. You know, she was like the
Oh,
type
yeah.
of escrow.
Yeah,
Now she's
I know.
everybody's notary.
So we want to come up and hang out with you for sure. Do that.
Okay.
And we want to have you back on again for, something else. We'll come up with some other stuff to talk about because you've got a wealth of
More things
knowledge.
to learn from you because you've got all the answers.
Was it helpful? Is this what you guys wanted?
So good. Yeah, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Fantastic. So we can't thank you enough. And just remind, if you're a real estate agent you're watching, just remind you, Katie and I are with Texana Bank. We lend in all 50 states. So if you got somebody moving out of state, you can work with us. We'll get them pre-approved. You can send them off to that referral agent already pre-approved, which would be nice. Don't worry, we close on time. In fact, we're going to get a point now to close 3 days early just to be safe. Okay? Just to avoid any tree fallings. Right? That's what we're going to do. Of course, we have superior communication and unprecedented follow-up. You can reach Katie and I at 707-220-1444. With that, we'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. Jess, thanks again. Totally awesome. Can't wait to see you soon for some lunch, something like that. And we'll have you back again. And for the rest of you, we'll see you here next time on the Real Estate Titans podcast. We'll see you. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye, guys. Thank you.
We have one more thing, and we put this in at the end.
Oh, okay, what?
So Katie's going to tell you a joke just to see how you like the joke.
Okay, what?
Okay, ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Why aren't dogs good dancers?
Tell me.
They have 2 left feet.
That they do.
It took me a second to get it.
Really? Because
I was like, what do you mean? Oh, right. They got 4. Yeah, 2 are on the end. Okay, I got
They
it.
got 2 each.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 5, Jess, what do you think of that joke? And Katie's bonuses rely upon it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4, and here's why. Because we keep a book of dad jokes, so I'm putting it in.
Okay.
She's got the dad joke book right
There
there.
it is.
Awesome. That was it. Thank you, Jess. Thanks so much.